Let me give you a history lesson about the 7 seconds or less Phoenix Suns. In 2004, head coach Mike D'Antoni changed the NBA. 7 seconds or less Phoenix Suns revolutionized the NBA with their fast pace and three-point shooting. The offense would try and score in 7 seconds or less. At the time, they held the record for the most three-pointers made in a single season by any team. They had one of the most formidable pick and rolls since Karl Malone and John Stockton and Steve Nash and Amari Stoudemire. Although they never won a championship, they finished with above 60 wins and the best record in the NBA. According to their offensive rating, where do you think they'd be in the NBA right now? They'd be 15th, just about playoff level offensively. The NBA has just started its new stage in history, the scoring revolution. My name's LQ, and let's talk about it. We've talked about offensive rating before and what it means for players, but it means basically the same thing for teams as well. Offensive rating is the amount of points a team scores per 100 possessions that they have. Now cast your mind back to all the years in NBA history. Which team do you think has the best offensive rating of all time? Not the 95-96 Bulls, not the 15-16 Warriors or the 16-17 Warriors. It's not the Showtime Lakers. It's definitely not this team on my chest. It's this season's Boston Celtics. This season. Now the Celtics are a good team and they're probably the best defensive team right now, but best offensive team all time. That's what the statistics. In fact, of the top 10 offenses all time, 3 of them are from this season. See, that's crazy. That's crazy. We haven't seen that before. Or have we? In 2020, 2021, mind you, it was a reduced season in the NBA due to COVID. But in the top 10, 7 of the top 10 teams of all time, according to their offensive rating, are from the 2020-2021 season. None of them from 21-22, but we'll get back to that in a minute. All of these are from recent modern times. So why? Why are teams and players scoring more points than they ever have before? Why? Comes down to 3 things. Fouling.
See, Capella didn't like that swipe down at the end.
Defense.
That is a big time move. Great footwork after he picked up his dribble, and then a left-handed jump hook from a...
And spacing.
2 minutes gone, third by Reed, slithering in outside Thompson, Bielitsa, and Curry thinking 3, feeding to Thompson instead. And they get...
Foul rules are dumb, aren't they? Like, everyone can agree that foul rules are dumb. You touch Luka Doncic or James Harden, and as long as he exaggerates a little bit, throws a little bit of flair in the air, he's going to be shooting free throws. The rules did change for half a season in the 21-22 season, but that tells you why none of their offenses are in the top 10.
By the way, that Durant jumper was the Nets' first 2 of the game. Harden is going to get called for the offensive foul. And James Harden is...
The foul rules make it near on impossible to guard players who drive to the cup and exaggerate their bodies a little bit. Players like Joel Embiid are shooting like 12 free throws per game and ended up scoring 32 points per game. What do you expect? We're getting less and less of the players that just burst through and don't get the free throw calls. We've still got LeBron, doesn't get enough free throw calls. We've still got Zion, doesn't get enough free throw calls. But more and more players, the James Hardens, the Luka Doncic's, the Joel Embiid's, the Bradley Bills, end up with more and more free throws because they're driving to the cup and moving their body a little bit. Mind you, I still don't think Bradley Bill gets enough free throws according to the rules. Now, defense. Defense right now is all about angles. Have the ability to close off an angle and you'll be a generational defender. Like Drew Holiday and Marcus Smart and maybe even Jimmy Butler. But that's unless you have a shooter. If you have a shooter, then you just gotta pray that they don't score. You better pray you don't touch him, otherwise he's at the free throw line again. Defending has never been harder in the NBA right now. I swear the sun is gonna make me wanna fight someone. But defending has never been harder in the NBA right now. It makes it tough when defenders can't be physical. It makes it a lot easier for players to go on great scoring runs and to have great scoring games. Finally, we'll talk about space. The worst shooting team in the league right now is the Charlotte Hornets. The Charlotte Hornets are still shooting 33.6 threes per game. Now we talked about the 7 seconds or less Phoenix Suns that revolutionized the game with their 3-point shooting. shot the most in their league. But even then, that Phoenix Suns team that shot 25.6 threes per game, that team would be dead last in the league right now according to their shooting. Even the Chicago Bulls are shooting 28 or 29 threes a game, which is more than that revolutionary team. There are so many shooters in the NBA right now. Thanks to Stephen Curry, Kevin Durant, Klay Thompson, James Harden, Karl Anthony Towns even. It's becoming more and more of a necessity to score more threes, and it all started with that one little point guard called Steve Nash. Shooting has really just become a necessity. That amazing shooting has made zone defense become less and less prevalent as the years go by, except against the Wizards, because we can't defend zone defense to save our Based on that, double teaming leads to open looks. And when you have 4 other shooters around them, like Luka Doncic, he can drive in, he's got 4 other shooters around him. Double team him, you've got to either pray he misses the shot or pray that Tim Hardaway misses that wide open 3. And more often than not, Tim Hardaway Jr. is not missing that wide open 3. In the season 2022-2023, there are 5 players right now who are scoring more than 30 points per game. If you count Kevin Durant, who's on 29.7, you have 6 players shooting 30 points per game or more. Take it back 10 years ago, in the 2012-2013 season, the highest scorer in the league was the real Carmelo Anthony. Carmelo Anthony averaged 28 points per game that season. Didn't even touch 30 points per game. There was no one in the league scoring 30 points per game. It all comes down to pace. Carmelo Anthony is not a fast player, but even then the league was at such a pace where it wasn't fast. He could slow it down a bit and score, but then that leads to less points because there's less time. If you look at the Hollinger statistic for pace, the fastest team in 2012-2013 would be the 28th fastest team in the league right now. In 2012-2013, the Memphis Grizzlies would have looked like the Flash coming up the court there, with Ja Morant and Jaren Jackson Jr. and Dylan Brooks rushing down. So that really justifies it. High scoring doesn't necessarily mean the players are better. Luka Doncic is not better than Magic Johnson. James Harden is not better than Kobe Bryant. Karl Anthony Towns is not better than a Hakeem Olajuwon. If there's any test in the world to tell you who the best players of all time are, it's your eyes. The NBA is in a scoring revolution right now, and it might just be its most fun version. Please like, comment and subscribe, and thank you for watching. Boom.